Shut up and sit down.
Hello folks, Colin here, Festa 67's Workshop. Welcome to issue 102 of Build Your Own Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 from the year 1967 by our good old pals at DeAgostini. Now, if you'd like to grab this for yourself and build this along with me, and who wouldn't, pop over to their website. There's a clickable link in the description below. Pop, and you too can be building this iconic 1/6 scale model. All American, it says. Yellow cabs, New York's taxis, iconic sight when you first land in New York and you're walking along and you just go down and there's all these yellow cabs in Times Square. It's just an iconic thing to see. Tells you all about them there. Crown Vics there were New York's most used taxis in 2012, and the last of them were retired in 2024. Environmental protection is now a priority and hybrid or electric engines are used. Yes, folks. Everything's going electric, isn't it? Batteries and speakers are what we're going to be putting in today with strut braces and stuff like that. So we're going to need our chassis and we're going to be popping speakers in and things like that and fitting stuff here and there around the chassis, folks, okay? So we want that section and our bulkheads, and we're looking at marrying them up today and joining it all together, okay? And it's beginning to look a lot more complete now, isn't it, as we're building this chassis both ends. And that's what we're going to end up with at the end of today, folks, okay? 1967 International Championships for sports prototypes. There is the Ford story this month. We've got Gurney and Foyt's Red Ford Mark IV there that won the 24-hour of Le Mans. AJ Foyt and Dan Gurney as well. You've got the GT40 Mark IV driven by Mario Andretti and Bruce McLaren on the Sebring 12-hour starting grid. This would be the brand's first victory of the season. Unusual calendar there, little section there. Full story there and categories and rules of the different classes, folks. And this is the GT Mark IV driven by Dan Gurney and AJ Foyt at the 1967 Le Mans 24 hours. And it's on display at the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, folks, if you want to pop along and see her. And yeah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And it's nice that these vehicles are all getting preserved because they'd be lost forever if they was in private collections, wouldn't they? So that's that magazine done, folks. So we'll put that to one side, and when we come back, we'll start a bit of assembly for you. All right, we have got loads of battery bits and bobs to do today, so let's grab the battery cover, which is what we've got there. And we got our gold terminal going on. And again, you got your Woodruff key there. Looks like a keyhole. That's going up over like so. And that's going to be retained with PS31 screws, folks, the little baby ones. So we want a pair of them. So we'll grab both. Like that. Put a bit of oil on. And then we're going up underneath the battery there to screw that in, right down in that corner, okay? Nice resounding click as that engaged. And that's that in. We've got the same to do with this terminal. Again, another keyhole just there, as you can see. And that's going to go just in there like that. And then the second one of them screws will hold that in place, okay? So we'll grab that, bink. Bit of oil there. And then send that right down in that other corner. Like so. And that's now fully in. And that's those two terminals sitting where they should be. We then want to put in all the little caps along here, okay? So they're standard press fit jobbies. Resistance fit, quite a stiff fitment, but I'd rather they be like that because you know they're not going to fly out when you handle the model. Like so, and then work my way along with all of those. Like so. Press that in. Like that. And then we can just pop a little bit in there. It will go. Like that. A little bit stubborn, that one. But it went. There you go. So that's them all in. I'm happy with that. Pink. We then got the bracket to go across the top there to carry the battery with. So let's line that up. That looks like it can only go the one way. So yeah, it says quite happily. Can only fit the one way. So that's what I'm going with. And that's going in with PS05 screws. So let's grab a couple of them bad boys. Usual bit of oil on the back of those. And then we can retain that handle then. And then do the second screw, and then I'll fully tighten them up then. Normally I always put the first one in loose just so that it holds it in place whilst I'll grab the second screw. And then, like I say, we can go in and tighten them fully home now. Spin that round. And that's that done. That's the battery looking really seriously nice. And then we're going to be bringing the chassis in, and we're going to be fitting the speaker in the back of that, because I think it's better. Let's bring in this. This can only go to one way. You've got two and a single to marry up with these. So that just presses over those and lands straight in place. And then this is going to attach here because you've got this peg and this little hole that line up with this where my thumb is. Yeah. And that is going to be held in place with a PS11 screw. So let's grab you. Put a bit of oil on and we'll attach that now before I bring the chassis on the bench because I've got a bit more room doing it this way. Just make sure we're putting that the correct way round. Which is that way. Hold that in place. If I shoot that in there, we can then connect our leads up. That's what we want. There you go. That's what we want. Then we can pop that on the gold end. Like so. Like that. It's actually quite a nice little way that's coiled down like that. And then this one is going to come out. Do it with my good hand. Apparently there is one. Like that. And then you're going to come out around there like so. straight on there, like that. And tuck you round in there, like so. Brilliant. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And to be on the safe side, bit of my old faithful friend, just to pop them in place. Stop them pinging off. I'm happy with that, okay? Now we can bring the chassis in and start adding some bits and bobs to it, which is going to be our speaker. So let's find that. Go back the way there. And as you can see, the speaker's going face down with its little retaining bracket and going in with PS5 screws. So there's the bracket. Let's move said speaker and bring in the two PS5 screws that way. And that should then only leave us the bulkhead to go in. And bring you in. Slide you in at a jaunty angle. There you go. And then we can lay the speaker in the correct orientation. Where's the wire go? Wire's going out over that way somewhere, like that. Around about 10 o'clock, there or thereabout. We then want our bracket to go in. And that's coming around the way like that. And like I say, that will then just move that circuit board solder joint into the correct place. Grab one of your screws, drop the obligatory bit of oil on her, let it run down the thread, and then we can screw that in situ. Next screw, same process. A little bit of oil. And then send that home right over there. Like that. So that's that now done. We can now look at fitting this bulkhead. Now we want our shock absorbers and our springs in place, okay? So if you remember, I hadn't put my springs on, so let's grab them and get them fitted whilst I think of it. Let's put you in there first, then grab the second one. Roll that back a bit. And we're going in there. And then we've got these that are going to go over the shock absorbers and between the springs, okay? So I need to unravel my wire so that I don't pinch it. Send that out around the side there. And then let's go for a tilt and see whether we can get this in place. There you go. There you go. Right, so we've got them lined up. We've now got a sequence here of putting these screws in, and it's doing it what I normally do, diagonals. We want the first one in down here, second one this side, third one this corner, and the fourth one over there. So they're going to be a bit tight and a bit fiddly to do, these peeps. So bear with me, because trying to film this and keep everything on shot is quite challenging now. So we'll do our best. Let's do that one over there first, because I can see it. Then do the second one. I'm going to do my diagonals the opposite way round because I can't see that one. This is right under my microphone. So I'll come back to that one. Right. And then grab this one. Let's see if we can get one of these back corners in. There you go. We got there. Now I can pull them diagonals fully tight, I think. And that should only leave me the one now, which is this back corner. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. There you go. That's that in place. That's the front of the engine clicked in nicely. Let's now turn you back round this way. And then we should be able to connect that pipe where it needs to live, down in there. Alright, so that's that. You've come out of there. Let's sling you out the way for a moment. I'm hoping that these little clips let me put that up there out the way. That's the theory. Let's try that. Thing is, you need a little bit of the old nutty slack on there for popping that out. Right, what do we got? We got press fit the strut bar back in place now, which is this bad boy. Okay, so we want that. That's clipping over there, so let's line that up. That is going in there. Somewhat like so. Same there. Like that. So that's what that needs to be like. Done. So that is that issue done, I think. For now. That's what the chassis should look like once this stage is complete. I'm happy with that. There you go. Phew, we got there. So that is that now all done. As you can see, she is looking massive. I'm trying my best to keep this on shot for you folks, but I'm really fighting a losing battle now. So there you go, folks. Don't forget, if you want to grab this for yourself and build one of these with me, pop over to the DeAgostini website, link in the description below. Pop, and you too can be building one of these. Also, to help me out, if you can click a little faster in the corner there and subscribe to the channel, I'll be immensely grateful. Whilst you're there, ring the bell, select all. That way you'll get notified of upcoming future content. In the meantime, thanks so much for coming in and keeping me company. Stay safe and well. Bye-bye for now.